What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sammy's Place. I am Sammae. We're officially kicking off season 2. I thought it'd be fun to explore the ideas of features for Aaliyah's upcoming album, Unstoppable. Even though they already got their own shit going on. Word is that it's scheduled for August. There's been no official announcement yet, even to why that has been pushed back or that it was even pushed back. Last they said it was coming out in January. That did not happen. Given the fact that on that last post, a lot of you have commented about who you would like featured on the album in collaboration with Aaliyah. Given that this is her last album, it has to be its best. Aaliyah would want that. I'm going to get into the list of people that were mentioned in the comment section, a majority of who's the most wanted on Aaliyah's album. Then I'll get into details of why I think these features would never actually happen. So a lot of the people in requests are people from the 90s, R&B artists, hip-hop artists from then. And it's not surprising in all honesty because obviously Aaliyah's fan base is from the 90s, is that era. And so we want to see these other artists that were from that time to work with her that never got the chance to. So the big name in demand, obviously, Janet Jackson. Aaliyah wanted to work with Janet Jackson. She was a huge fan of her. There was discussion of them to collaborate for Aaliyah's last album, but unfortunately schedules didn't let that happen. Janet did pay a little tribute to her in her State of the World tour a couple years back. And when I saw that, I lost my shit. She sang That's the Way Love Goes, and there was a transition, a blend with Rock the Boat at midway at some point. It was so fucking dope. So that is one feature that we would definitely want to see. That's the most thing in demand that I see. Every fucking comment was like Janet Jackson, and I completely agree. I hope that one day happens. The other one was Brandy and Monica, and we always mention Brandy, Monica, and Aaliyah together. It's very rare that you say one without the other, and I think that would be such a moment in R&B for these three to be on a song together after so many years. And a few people mentioned Sierra. That was another one that was popular. People have mixed feelings about that one, but I could definitely see that one. I think it's deserving. Sierra's a fucking dope artist herself. She's made her print in here. She deserves that's for sure. Another one was TLC, and I'm surprised nobody said Usher. Nobody said Usher. I would prefer Usher, honestly, and rather than Chris Brown, as much as I like Chris Brown. Usher's been very vocal about his love for Aaliyah as like a friend, obviously, and as an artist. That would be another one that would be perfect in my opinion. Now I'm gonna get into details as why I think these features won't happen. Like everybody's, Missy's obviously not on the album. There was word that there's production by Tim on one song. For everybody else, I don't think this is gonna happen because the family doesn't support it. And anybody that respects Aaliyah, that knows of Aaliyah, would never go against what her family actually wishes for, her mother, her brother. And so it gets to a point as to this album's gonna happen regardless. But if her family can actually give the okay on it and make this the best album that they can possibly make this album to be, and that's including these artists, especially the Janet Jackson track. Like, since I got word that was in talks 20 years ago, it's like a fucking tease. It's horrible because think of what that would sound like. That would be fucking dope. And then we can finally get tracks produced by Timberland and, featuring Missy and shit like that. And because that's what we really want. We want at least a few songs with just them on it, and just to have that kind of nostalgic feel to it of all three of them together. Tim's beats, Missy on it some way, somehow, and Aaliyah singing. The second one that I want the most is Brandy and Monica on the track with Aaliyah. We don't know what they're doing with the album now. Word is that they're trying to have more female features. So we will see. This isn't a good look though for the album. It's so random. The single was just kind of shot out, and then literally the following month, oh, it's coming out this month. It didn't come out, and no word of it. So it's not a good look. Not a good look at all. But we will see. Again, thank you to everybody for listening and for subscribing. And I'm back in this bitch every Wednesday. I promise. This time. Love and light, everyone. See you next week.